Mr. Agrawal on stage, please. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal.
Good afternoon, friends. There is a lot of talk about $5 trillion, and this entire conference is whether we are going to achieve $5 trillion or not. So, actually, I'm the guy who wrote the first report on next $1 trillion opportunity in 2008. And you know that in 2008, India achieved for the first time $1 trillion GDP. And just for your reference, US achieved $1 trillion status in 1970, and China achieved that $1 trillion status in 1998. And then journey of both the countries, and more particularly China, post-98, what really happened in next 20, 30 years that we know of. And now I think the world has enough of China. The world is waiting for India to happen. So now how India shapes up, sorry. Hello? Yeah, sorry. So this is how, does it work?
This is next, and this is...
No, it's not working.
Okay, I'll just see them.
Yeah. So India took 60 years between 1947 and 2007 to achieve $1 trillion. India was complete basket case when we got the independence. Probably 99.9% of the population must be below poverty line. In 1985, when I started my career in stock market, 95% of the population, 85% of the population was below poverty line. Now this number is about 22%. So India's journey, I mean, we have passed through a lot of big challenges, bankruptcy of 92, and all sorts of problems we have passed through, and we have reached about 2.7, 2.8, depending on rupee dollar parity. We are right now at about 2.8, 2.9 trillion dollar GDP right now. So the journey of $5 trillion, I mean, as per this is the original estimate, we were supposed to reach in 2024 4.1, and 2025 more like 4.5, 4.6 trillion dollar, and 5 trillion will definitely happen in 26. And if our policy parameters, some global tailwinds come along, maybe a little earlier or maybe a year later, there is absolutely no doubt. I mean, I think 99.9% we will hit 5 trillion, maybe in 25 or maybe 26. What it does, what is more important is not whether we'll achieve 5 trillion. We'll achieve 5, we'll achieve 10, we'll achieve 15. The issue is what exactly it means for people like us as an investor and as businessmen. So what happens is, this is the basic logic. You just get this, that's where the $1 trillion has an opportunity. What happens when you have $1,000 per capita income? Your essentials are $900 and discretionary is $100. When you go from $1,000 per capita to $2,000 per capita, your essentials remain same, and your discretionaries go from 100 to 1,000. So what is the doubling of GDP? Your discretionary spend is 10x, 5x, 10x, depending on the category. If you are producing Mercedes, it will be 20x. But if you are producing motorcycle, maybe just about 2x. If you are Maruti or popular car maker, it might be 6x, 7x. So it depends where exactly of the pyramid of discretionary you stand. So how do you make money in a stock market? I mean, this is the way you have to position your portfolio. You have to find winner categories. What is most important to figure out if you have faith in the future, because you have to be an optimist. In the stock market, when you have to come with a absolute die-hard optimism. If you have weak nerves, or if you have a skepticism whether we are going to go there or not, I don't think you are cut for stock markets, because you are going to make money only if the companies grow. You don't make money if the companies don't make money. Companies have to make a lot of money, and companies will make a lot of money only if the economies grow, or underlying environment where they make money. So you have to find the winner categories. Which are the businesses which become very, very large? And within those businesses, which are the leader companies? So winner categories and category winners, they are looking very expensive right now. You know for sure which categories are going to win, but in those categories, the leaders are a bit expensive right now. But still, I think building a portfolio of category winners winner categories and category winners is the way to go to build a portfolio for the next 5, 7, 10, 15 years. I mean, we have tried to bring a framework of the companies or categories. How do you figure out? You have to find a category where there is a growth and consolidation. You need both. To make a lot of money, you need a lot of growth, but a lot of consolidation. Say, the wheat consumption will grow, but there is no wheat producer who is going to supply 40% of India's wheat requirement. But telecom is going to grow a lot, but there are only 3 players left, and even third is in question right now. So there is, from 17 you have come to 3, and from 3 to 2, you can imagine what kind of money they are going to make. I mean, they are actually losing a lot of money right now, but the possibility, stock market is valuing them very rich because they are expecting massive growth and massive consolidation, and hence huge amount of profits. That's how bulk of the wealth has been created all over the world. Find a niche where you can dominate. So wherever the industry, and in India, everything will grow, even matchboxes will grow. But do you have consolidation for making money? Once you find a niche, like say car will become very large. Like China does 25, 30 million cars. We do about 3 million cars. And we are thinking that whether we have come to an end just because this little slowdown. So it is not going to come to an end. People are not going to going on bicycle to their offices or going intercity on bicycles. And there is not enough Ubers. Even Uber needs a car. So I think at 2.2%, yesterday you must have heard R.C. Bhagwat Saab, at 2.2% penetration, 22 cars per thousand, I think we are not, I mean, either it's a basket country or we are talking about a country which is going to grow. If it is going to grow, you are going to see this country also achieving as much as what China has achieved. China is doing 25, 30 million cars right now. Now it is unthinkable whether that kind of number will come, because right now we are struggling with 3 million itself. So we are so much colored by current short-term slowdown that we are not able to think through what can happen in next 10 to 15 years. So how do you exploit, apart from consolidation and growth, how do you exploit? So you have to believe in the power of compounding. What happens is that compounding, everybody is heard. But I mean, I have gone world over, I have gone to the best of the institutes. Most of the people, they don't understand power of compounding. I mean, how do you calculate it? Everybody has heard about it. But at the rate of rule of 72, everybody knows that 72 divided by number of years, you get the rate. You divide the 72 by percentage, you get the number of years in which it will double. But when I ask somebody at the rate of 25%, in 10 years, a rupee will become how much? It will become 9.3, say about 10. But the same 10 rupees, I mean, that at the rate of 25%, in 10 years, it becomes 10 times. But in 30 years, it will not become 30 times. It will become 87 times, 1,000 times. So what is important is to encash on this exponentiality. In India, the opportunity, the $5 trillion is not a destination, it's a milestone. If you think it is destination, sell everything you have in your portfolio. Sell everything. So it is just a milestone. We are going to go much further, at least that's what we believe. Market is only about today's opinion, today's price, tomorrow's opinion is tomorrow's price. So today we think we are going to go to 10, 15, 20, it's a journey which continues. So in that situation, this is one place where even in old businesses like banks, insurance, cars, you name it, NBFCs or housing finance companies, you still get 25, 30% growth, and you can get this kind of growth for 25, 30 years. And hence, you can make a lot of money investing in conventional businesses in India. So remember the power of compounding, that it works wonderfully well in the long run. And unless you invest for long run, your IRR is not going to be very high. This is the Buffett's, how Buffett built up from literally nothing in 85,000 times in 58 years. That is a 22% CAGR. He is right now struggling at about 10, 12%, but the way he was going when he was young in 1950s, 60s, 70s. This is how he built his, he was at the age of 24. This is the age, and then he was at the age of 24. So he was born in 1930. At the age of 24 means he was about, in 1954 he had $5,000. Then at the age of 30 he had $1 million. At the age of 40, that was 1970, he was $25 million. And by the time he is 1990, he became first billionaire sometime in 1984-85. At the age of 53 or 54, he became a billionaire. And then from that 3.8 billion, he became, now it is 100 billion, 125 billion. He cannot count the money. I mean, he has $130 billion in cash. He's getting $40 billion every year into his coffers. But look at it. He started from $5,000. And he has done at the rate of 22%. This is simple story of mine. You know, I mean, this is an India story. That is all in US and everything. But this has happened in India. I started in 87 with literally nothing. In 1990, I had 1 crore. And then what happened was that in 1990, when myself and Motilal ji, we both started this company, at that point of time, it was the worst of the slowdown. It was a very bearish market, and markets were in very bad shape. The politics was in very bad shape. There was a shooting of, assassination of Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, and there was no confidence. And then country went into literally crisis, forex crisis, where we had to send gold to Switzerland for getting $60 million line. Can you believe this? I mean, to get a 60 or maybe $100 million sovereign line, we had to send gold. I mean, today probably Motilal Oswal can get a more than $100 million line overnight. That's the change of the situation. That time our forex was just about $2-4 billion. And we had to take a structural adjustment loan of $5 billion from IMF. Today, every week, this country is getting $2.5 billion of exchange accrual. We are sitting at $453 billion of cash pile, which we don't know what to do. So I think, so this is a very different situation of the country, and it's a tremendous opportunity. I mean, right now this slowdown is a fantastic opportunity to look at the stocks where things are going to happen. So in 1990, things were very bad, and when we bought the membership, what happened was that Harsha Mehta bull run happened, and probably it happened only for us. And then, so I had about 15 lakhs when the Harsha Mehta bull run happened. In next 18 months, I made 30 crores. And no speculation. We made 30 crores in 18 months. I mean, there must be some guys who must have participated in the market. So this is the nature of the market. You cannot predict. You cannot predict how big a storm is ahead of you. You have to have faith. This storm will come. Longer it waits, bigger will be the storm. I'm quite sure about it. So we made 30 crores. We were very happy. We didn't know how many zeros are there in crore. And then it crashed. So that 30 became 10. Then what happened, 7-8 years we worked very hard. There was no index, nothing. We used to buy the stock, and stock used to go up, we used to sell, and we didn't know about the index and all. Then suddenly all the cable TV came, NASDAQ came, and people started talking about the indices. So every day morning people used to get up and see the NASDAQ index and how market has happened, and then we started getting aligned with the global markets. Then before we could know, there was a tech bull run. That was a Y2K. And we had Satyam, we had Infosys, we had Wipro, and we made tons of money. At that point of time, the 10 crore became 100 crores. That was the turn of the century. 2001, I had 100 crores. Then from there, again it crashed. It had to crash. So it crashed to 30 crores. Then at 30 crores, we thought that, again, 2002-03 was extremely bad. I mean, the first time two-wheeler production went down. We actually had a proper recession in 2002-03. This all I have lived every day. In 2003, what happened? Again, this recession was there, and then we thought that we are into wrong profession. Let's close it or do something else. And then the mother of the bull run started. Market went up by 100x. From my portfolio went from 30 crores to 550 crores. I mean, it just rocketed. I mean, my company was a 10 crore company, became a 1,000 crore companies. It grew physically by 100x in 4 years. That was a rush of foreigners. I can keep telling you stories about what happened between 2003 to 2008. We would love to live 92 and 2003 to 2008. I think it is going to come. I don't know where it is going to come. So 2008 happened, and then again it crashed. It had to crash again. So it crashed from 500 to 225. Now this 225 in last 10 years has crossed more like 1660 or 1700. This is the small savings part. This has nothing to do with the company. This is mine and Moti's personal savings, which has grown to 1700 and growing like this. So what I'm saying is this is the power of compounding. I have done at the rate of 28% CAGR for 30 years. So this I'm telling you only to tell you, there is no making money in the stock market in a straight line. First point. Second, there is going to be deep corrections in your portfolio. If your portfolio is not correcting by 50%, you are not in the market. Please take that. So celebrate if you have 25, 30% correction in your portfolio. You are completely designed to make a lot of money. So it is going to happen. It is nature of the market. And this is how true, if you run away now, that I have incurred losses, so let me run away and come some other day. You cannot do that. 365 days means all 365 days you have to be in market. I'll just give you a small incident. Last month I went for Vipassana. That is 11 days, you know what happens. You can't talk to anybody, you don't know anything. One plane was flying, I thought there is attack on India. So, that was the kind of ignorance you are in. And then what happens? After 11 days when I get connected with the world, I called up my partner, Moti. I said, what happened? How are things? He said, boss, you don't know? The government has cut the taxes from 33% to 25%. And markets have gone by 15-20%. This is a contribution of me. By doing Vipassana, we can take the market by 15%. So this is so much control you have on your portfolio and the outcome. I am telling you, nobody, all the jokers who are coming here and talking, nobody has any clue. I can tell you this. I'm sorry if I'm hurting anybody. I hope it's not live. So, stock market is a crazy place where it is not taught anywhere in the classes. Even in US, they make out that there's a value investing forum in Colombia, which is very famous. They really teach. The Professor Greenwald is really good. But looking at them, some other professors are trying. But those profs themselves cannot make money, let me tell you. They cannot make money. They can teach you how to make money, but they cannot make money. And very few, also, stock market is the biggest pit. I mean, it's a $85 trillion game. And let me tell you, very few people make serious money in the market. There's a lot of lure of making, 2 minutes only. So, I think I've hurt somebody. Just in 2 minutes we can do this. Rule number 1, don't lose money. And rule number 2, rule number 2, of course, don't forget rule number 1. But rule number 1, don't invest with the crooks. India is full of crooks. I'm telling you, the wealth creation study I'm going to release tomorrow, you are going to see that. See, the point is, for management competence, management is 90% in investing. And in 90%, there are 3 things required. Let me try to figure out. In 2 minutes, let me do best. Yeah. So, management is 90% of the rule. If you find an honest, competent management, bet on this. Don't ask anybody whether it's cheap or expensive. Bet on the guy. Because in India, still ownership and management is same, unlike in US and other places. So if the guy is a crook, you are not going to make money, for sure. So you have to make sure first that guy is honest guy. And then after that, of course, you have to see the competence, whether he has the competence and the energy. If he is competent and lazy, that also doesn't work. Because India is a very competitive place. Everybody is very hungry to become rich, and that too very quickly. And in the process, most of them are dishonest. So you have to find those exceptional 1%, 2% honest guys. And if you invest with them, you are going to do very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing your insights as always, Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal, and I'm sure it's inspired